Good morning, everybody. My name is Isinkaye, and I'll be speaking to you extensively about computer vision, specifically how to vision see. Now, I want you guys to go through this interactive session with me and close your eyes for a second. Now, imagine you're walking through a garden. You stop and you see a bright red fruit. It's a strawberry plant. You can see the green leaves, very healthy, very vibrant. You can see some leaves, they look bad, they're not very healthy. And you can also see the white swell. You may open your eyes. Now you see that's very easy and very simple for us to do as human beings. Why? Because our brains are incredibly pattern recognizing. But for a long, long time, computers have been like toddlers in the real world. They could see, and by seeing I mean they could take pictures and videos, but they had no context of the content of that video. They do not understand like now if I have the camera on me, it really does not understand that this is a human being talk. Now that brings me to talk about computer vision. In essence, this is the science of teaching machines to see, and not just to see, but to develop meaning or understanding of what they're looking at. Now this takes me back to the summer of 2024 where I was part of a robotics team that was representing HT for a robotics competition in Anaheim, California. And even my role on the team, I had one simple goal, just one goal, to train a model that will be able to recognize different parts of the 3D strawberry plant. That's not too hard, right? This is one of the specimens that we printed with our 3D printer. And at first, my computer was clueless, absolutely clueless, like it did not know what was going on. It could take pictures, yes. It could take videos, yes. But it could not tell me like, oh, this is a flower, this is a fruit, this is a healthy leaf, this is a bad leaf. So now that brings me to answer the question, how do machines see? Patterns, 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 patterns and examples. Computers learn just like we do, through patterns and examples. So what did I do? I had to take thousands of pictures, and I'm not exaggerating, thousands of pictures of all these 3D printed plants, the leaves, the healthy leaves, the bad leaves, the flowers, under different circumstances, and feed that to my computer so that it could learn and eventually be able to recognize it on its own. It's like teaching a toddler how to read. You point to the word, you say apple, A-P-P-L-E, and you say it thousands of times until you're able to learn it and recognize it on your own. And that's what I was doing with this model, only that, in this situation, my child was a machine. And you see this field, it's really amazing and beautiful because when I eventually taught my model how to recognize these different parts of a plant, it wasn't just about, I've achieved my goal. Now it became about possibility. Because if I can teach my machines to recognize a plant, if I can teach it to recognize different places in this room, imagine what else I can teach it to see. And now we see this application across various sectors in today's world or in modern technology. We have taught machines to learn and to see and detect early signs of illnesses on the medical scan, and to even recognize traffic lights on a busy road, obstacles that a robot needs to avoid, so many things. And this is immensely wonderful because there's so many more applications for that. So that brings me to now talk about computer vision extensively, because when we talk about the applications, there are several things, like for example, several things I can do for good. For example, my friend used an app that can help blind people to navigate the sport safely. It's used extensively in the health industry and in agriculture. So you see that there are different good ways to use this technology. But if used carelessly, there are also negative ways that it can be used for surveillance, bias, and control. Why am I talking to you about computer vision today is because this field of technology in a way holds a mirror up to humanity. It learns just like we do. If we feed it certain types of faces, it will only recognize this type of faces well. If we feed it biased data, it will only recognize biased data. And it even learns and amplifies on that biased data, which in turn affects certain communities as we see today. Computer vision learns from how we see the world. It shows how we see the world, and not just how we see, but how we also see the world. And the essence of this is the future of this technology is not just smart algorithms. For responsible training, human empathy behind the courage. And in essence, just being aware so that we can identify things like this when we're trying to give data to give machines to them. Now, every time your phone unlocks just by looking at your face, every time a waymo stops at a crosswalk because they see somebody trying to walk by, that's computer vision in action. Every time you try to deposit a check with your mobile bank app, that's computer vision in action. They're surrounded by it every day, even without realizing it. So I would like to implore you to become much more aware and to be able to identify computer vision everywhere around you so that we can make this world much more inclusive, to include our communities, to put us at the forefront. So every time your phone unlocks just by looking at your face, or every time you're reversing to park and your car is beeping because you can see on the dashboard that there's something behind you, remember that that's computer vision. And that's because we've given machines not just the lens to see or glasses to see, but help them to develop meaning and understanding. So let's make sure that that lens is clear, full of vision, and free of bias. Thank you.